What's up? I've got a pretty fun build for you guys today. So this is the Goldfish. I don't really know what to call it, like a helicopter or a plane or what, but it's a Levitite airship that uses 3 different propellers. This has been like one of my favorite types of aircraft lately. And then this is also a bomber. I've got these 2 dispensers on the bottom, so we can just drop TNT. And then to land, he's got this sticker on the front. So I can activate the sticker, then snap to the ground. And that's helpful because when it's deactivated, the Levitite makes it kind of float up like this. So this aircraft is not really built for speed. The max speed is only around 20 meters per second, but it's quite maneuverable, easy to control, and that makes it really good as a combat vehicle, as just a bomber. So it's kind of meant for short distance bombing. All right, so let's bomb this village. It's really good for carpet bombing. So you just kind of set the explosives and then go over everything. Turn around and go for a second pass. You can do this really easily because it just levitates. Oh, it looks like I'm out of TNT. All right, so this thing runs on a diesel engine. In fact, it's just a single diesel engine. You see that one right there? That's the only thing powering this whole craft. So you can see the fluid tank in the middle there. It's just a 3x3, so we can hold 72 buckets. And with just one diesel engine, that's enough to last a really long time. And that diesel engine, all it's powering is these 3 propellers, one on each side and one on the top, as well as the pump that's feeding the engine. And then on the back, we've just got all these symmetrical sails. It's just for stability, so that when you're going forward, it keeps you going straight. And then the big eyes on the front, those are just decoration. They're mostly made out of ghost blocks, so they add no weight or anything. And in fact, a lot of the other decorative blocks around the outside are also ghost blocks to try and keep the weight distribution correct. So as a Levitite airship, it hovers perfectly. It doesn't go up or down if you're just not moving like this. But of course, this propeller on the top can bring you up or down. And then it just kind of pitch around weirdly when you're not moving. But while you're going forward, the sails on the back really help to keep you level. That also means when you're going backwards, it gets pretty bad because the tail is on the wrong side. But it does level itself out eventually. All right, so let's take a closer look at this. So again, we have our fluid tank here in the middle. It's a 3x3, and that feeds up here to this single diesel engine. This has an engine turbocharger on it, so the whole thing runs at a faster speed. But besides that, there's nothing else that changes the rotation speed. So that just goes forward into this top propeller, and then up into the side propellers. And then each of these directional gear shifts has 2 redstone links attached to it. That's because you need one to tell it to go forward, forward and backward, and then turning left and right. So this one needs to go forward when you're going forward, and when you're turning right. It needs to go backwards when you're going backwards, or when you're turning left. So this is a nice way to do that. Then you can see a lot of these blocks are ghost blocks, so you can just go right through them. They have 0 weight, like this, see? And then these blocks as well down here are ghost blocks. They have no collision. And then you can see a little bit of the redstone inside. This is just to power the dispensers. So a redstone link into a toggle latch into the timer, and then that powers the 2 dispensers. The sticker's just got a link on it. So if you want to use this for yourself, I have the schematic uploaded. It'll be in the description. So you'll just place it like this. If you're doing it in survival especially, there's some things you'll have to do. So for one, you have to fill up the fuel tank. Also, sometimes for some reason the fuel tank doesn't schematic properly, so you might have to replace it first because it's like not connected, you see. Just like place and break. Yeah, so there we go. Now it says 72 buckets. So you do that, and then you just have to fill it up with gas. There's no docking connector or anything on this, so you just have to figure out a way to do it manually. In creative, you can just grab your buckets like this. But in survival, you'll have to hook up a tank. You'll have to turn this crank to get some diesel into the engine. There we go. And then you can either turn it on from here. The button is G to turn the engine on and off. All right, so now that's running. Also, usually the turbocharger upgrade for the engine doesn't save in the schematic for some reason. So you'll have to apply that yourself. Then you'll have to check to make sure all the engines are, the propellers are moving in the right directions. So this time they are, but sometimes they aren't. And if so, you'll have to either change the direction of the motor or change direction of the propellers. Okay, and then finally you'll have to assemble it, so make sure it's glued. It should be glued in the schematic, but if not, just make sure to include everything in the glue. Just assemble, and you're ready to go. And then the controls, it's just space and shift to go up and down, W and S to go forward and backwards, A and D to go to turn left and right. And then, as I said before, G turns on and off the engine, like that. And then Q is for bombing. I don't have any bombs right now, but oh, and it looks like the bombing also activates the sticker. But you can also activate the sticker by just pressing E. And that's just useful again, so you can stick to the ground so the Levitite doesn't make you kind of float off. Now this Goldfish does use a few extra mods besides the necessary ones, in particular these copycats. So if you want a more stripped down version, one that doesn't have all the decorations, I made this one. So you can decorate however you want. And if you don't have the copycats mod, this will be nice as well. So this doesn't have any copycats. All the colors are gone. All the extra decorative blocks are gone. These are all the actual blocks that have weight. So that's it for this video. Just kind of silly little build, although it's actually still a pretty effective combat bomber. So let's just bomb the jungle here, and yeah, hope you can make use of this. Hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.